Good. How come this is always a problem for me? Don't understand. And why isn't the light catching that in a proper way? Okay, there we go. All right, I'm just gonna get some things set up real quick. For instance, I want to be able to watch over here. Just makes my life a little easier. I am turning down the volume though, because that makes my life harder. All right, what do we got? Okay, there we go. Okay, lighting looks all right. I'm afraid this picture is all I could find. Going to be opening up this box, so we need good lighting. We at least need decent lighting, I suppose. All right, we're good there. We're good over here. All right, should be good to go. Alrighty. Alrighty then. Except I think I'm the only person here, so to future people who may show up and watch this in hindsight, got this giant thing in my way, but I say to you, cheers, mateys. Can't seem to get a good handle on that. All right. Well, okay, we should be good to go. So I'm gonna bring this down here. I really just don't like it in my face. It's not good. This thing can go over here. Are we about to have noise outside? I hate that. I hate it. Let's see what we got. Ahoy there, Blue Jay. All's well. Just typical day. Just knocking through the BS. You know what I mean. Gonna open up this game because I'm gonna have to review it soon. And if Sandy Claus is in here, I'll review it in December. And if he's not in here, well, January sounds good. So that's what we're going to do. I'm doing the unboxings for TikTok, the little 60-second ones, but some of these larger ones, I kind of feel like, maybe I should make a little bit more of an effort. Not that those aren't an effort, believe me, they are. They blow out entire days, and there's things I would do with my life if I weren't in here, but I'd rather be here. So let's do it right, shall we? And I know there's not a lot of warning on going live. It's just kind of a spontaneous, oh, look who's live kind of thing. It's going to take some people 20, 30 minutes to even notice. Possibly hours or days. Sometimes I announce it. This time I'm just kind of like, well, let's just jump right in. I mostly just need this box open. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, you also asked how the madam was. Well, she's asleep, strangely. That's just kind of the routine, so shh, be very, very quiet. We've got sweeping co-pirate queens. Never really settled on a proper title for her. She's not exactly a subordinate. She's kind of a co-captain. So I guess we'll go with that. Co-pirate does cover that. All right. Well, in any case, I'll be unboxing Funko Strategy Game, which is a series from Funko, and is anybody else involved? Because sometimes there are, yep, Prospero Hall, right here. It's Funko and Prospero Hall, and when they put their heads together, cool things come out. So I expect cool things. The problem is that I've not played any of these yet, and there's a bunch. There's like Golden Girls for some reason. There's Back to the Future, there's Harry Potter, there's DC characters, Harley Quinn and Batman and stuff like that. But this one caught my eye. And I'm hoping that we've got something neato in here. I'd kind of like to see Santa Claus. I mean, it's got Christmas right there in the title, and it's kind of their principal objective in the movie, so wouldn't it be great? All right, well, first of all, this is one of those boxes, kind of the Target special boxes that has little stickies kind of holding it closed in the four corners, and those are a real pain in the butt to get off there. So I just cut through them, and I will deal with them another day. Honestly, they're starting to pile up. But hopefully when I find a solution for one, it'll retroactively solve them all. That's what I'm going with. So let's chew down. We're opening the seals. 3 and 4. Funkoverse. Yes, I've heard good things as well. It's supposed to be good, solid, sort of simple from what I've heard. Sort of like, not like a really heavy strategy game, but something that's kind of worth your time and a little surprising for the size that it is. I'm Fan Newsy's video. Hello, good to see ya, and cheers to you. Welcome. We're just going to open a box real fast and go on our way. But hopefully it has cool things in it. So obviously we can see Jack and Oogie and Sally and Brain Lunchbox guy. Let's see, and here they are here. Play as a standalone game or mixed with other Funkoverse games, because they all connect up, kind of like, you know, HeroClix and cool things like that. Jack Skellington, Sally, Oogie Boogie, Dr. Finkelstein. Combine your favorite characters and go head-to-head in 4 exciting game scenarios. Move through memorable locations, Oogie Boogie's Lair and Halloween Town, and use your character's unique abilities to capture points and achieve victory. Sounds good. But does it play well? Well, we're not going to determine that today, but we can at least have a look at the parts and pieces. And this is what I see when I look inside. Obviously, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 little Funko Pops going on there. And I assume they're exclusive to this game, which is kind of cool. Funko Pop Blitz Candy Crush. Well, bleh. We care not for that. Or I don't know, do we? Oh, very good. No, I haven't played a lot of mobile games. I used to play them all the time, but now, not really. Wow, these minis really don't like to come out of here. There's the Sally. Let's see if I can get a good detail shot on her there. Don't focus on me, focus on the Sally. That's nice. I don't have a lot of Pops. I think I've got one upstairs. Someone gave me a Wolverine back in the day, I think it is. So this begins my collection. Technically the last game did, but same thing. I got them all at once. Therefore, that began it. And old Jack, looking like a marshmallow head. Seriously, that's like a square. You just want to stick a stick in him and hang him over a campfire. Oh, get out of there without breaking. Oh, if I break one of these, that's just going to be the worst. You know what? Let's try this guy first. Oh, Lego. Maybe it's my angle. Why don't you get out of there? Oh, I got something. Please don't break. Boy, they really don't want it. All right, I'm pushing from behind. There we go. That's how you do it. I'd rather break the plastic than break the minis. Okay, so there's Boogie. And they really went in there with the green, which is kind of the color that he picks up when his lighting and his casino is hitting him. Usually he's just kind of burlap, but there he is. And finally, we got this guy. And again, I'm abusing the plastic because I really just don't want to break these guys. Even though I'm going to have to put them right back in here afterward. Dr. Finkelstein, to the front of the line. Now this head casing is a little wobbly. I bet you that would break off first, so I'm going to be super careful with that. But 1, 2, 3, 4, there's our little guys. Hi, Dados. Let's see, collect all kinds of Funko Pops. Good, yes, they're awesome. I just don't have a lot of them. I don't really have a lot of just nerdy shelves these days. I've got a bunch of action figures and sculptures and things upstairs, but they're all in boxes and packages because I've got nowhere to put them. Or at least I haven't invented a place to put them on. I've got plenty of space. Cheers to everyone here. All right, well, beyond the figures, and I see there's stuff going on behind here. I'm not ready for that yet. I've got a bunch of stuff going on here, so let's start with the part that I'm really excited about, is the Oogie dice. And they are a lot less cool than I was hoping. You can get some fairly good replica Oogie Boogie dice from Munchkin, from Nightmare Before Christmas Yahtzee, if you can get the one that has Oogie's head and not Jack's head. Jack's head, I believe, has the dice with the stickers on it. This is a cool novelty because it's, well, there goes one of them. It's kind of got the glyphs on there, but it's not really telling the story in the way that the others do. But that's cool. I'll take it. I want all versions. Okay, so here we have our basic dice. I assume this is just what you use to play the game. So we've got like, I assume that's some kind of shield. I assume that's some sort of, oh my goodness, and kapow, something dramatic has happened. But again, I've not yet played this game, so your guess is as good as mine at this point. Maybe even better. We now have a little Ziploc full of purple gem fragments, and they are kind of glorious for plastic. Kind of nice. I will probably end up putting these in a little brass bowl or something. I don't know if they're good or bad or a goal or whatever they are. Seriously, I have not played this yet. I just need the box open so I can begin to discover it. We now have a bunch of tokens, which is another way of saying they don't make you punch your own. Sometimes these come on sheets and you have to deal with that. So, I mean, it looks like it's a flood of icons. There's a star, there's a castle kind of thing. Ooh, look, a shard. I bet you that, has something to do with a sea, familiar stuff, a gear of some sort, you shall not pass kind of thing. Yeah, it's just various knocked down. Boy, this really looks like HeroClix. This really reminds me of some of the stuff that you might see in there. Okay, well there's those. Bunch of tokens. And now we've got another Ziploc of... What are you of? Well, I'm not sure. This looks like a some assembly required. Oh no, these are bases. These are bases. I get it. So you can, I bet, yep, sure enough, you pop that in there, and boom, your guy doesn't fall down now. Or your girl, whichever one you're playing. Yeah, no, that makes them super sturdy. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, they're not going anywhere. All right, so those are bases for your figures. We do have this odd little thing in here, and I don't know what it is, but we'll discover that in a bit here. Okay, well, underneath the holder, now we've got a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to take that out, replace this back in, and move this away. And let me see if we got anything going on. HeroClix, yes. We have a lot of HeroClix here. Never really got too deep into it. The wife hates dice. Now, I used to play HeroClix by myself. I would build up two wonderful armies, and I would just make them smash into each other. But we're kind of players to where she will abandon theme and just put numbers and powers together. She is undefeatable when it comes to that kind of stuff. But for me, I like my Batman, Commissioner Gordon, Robin, the Batmobile, stuff like that. And when you put a theme team together like that, you are screwed, because that means you are not living your best life in a customizable game. So I always die, but I have a great time doing that. Mostly. But yeah, that reminds me of HeroClix. I don't know if it has anything in common with it. There are dice here. Yeah, no clue. And that's what we're here to do, to open this box so I can start reading this book. Because at some point I have to review this. If Santa Claus is in here, we'll do it in December. If not, January or later. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And I have not encountered him yet. I'm not seeing a lot of cards here, in fact. Underneath the the holder, I've got the instruction book. I've got some boards, and I've got some various, well, these kind of look like, I kind of want to say character stat sheets. But let's go one thing by one thing. Let's start with the boards, actually. Because I just want to use me knife. Arr. Yeah, arr. It's early yet. It actually kind of is. What time is it? It's like, I don't have it's not even noon yet here. What we got? What is this? Held for you? I don't need that. It's a funny misspelling. I like it. It gave me a warning. It said, this is held for review. You have to allow it or not. But I can see why, because you meant to say chits. An easy mistake to make. Let's see. Hulk smash. Oh, well, it's what I got. I mean, I could bring my cutlass out, but then I might damage these things. Ooh, you know what? Looking at these, I do see Christmas lights and candy canes and things like that. So maybe this is slightly more December appropriate than I was thinking. Wouldn't that be nice? It's got Christmas in the title. Even though I definitely skew Halloween, and so do the writers, apparently. Let's see here. Sorry, Blue Jay Bunny, I totally missed this one. Gems for points, probably. I mean, what else would they be for? Whenever you got shiny bits like that, treasure usually means something good. Something to fight for, something to collect, something to exchange for other things. For the record, this little claw of mine actually came out of this weird little medallion necklace, kind of a Pirates of the Caribbean knockoff thing that I got quite a while back. It's pretty cheesy, but I do like to use the knife, especially since I lost my old one. And it was kind of shaped like Batman anyway, so hardly appropriate for most of what I do online. And here you go. All right, this actually folds out. I'm a little surprised. I don't know why. I sort of expected that it was just going to be parts and pieces. Ooh, that's cool. Look, it's Oogie's Casino with neon and everything. Oh, that's pretty badass. I like that. Big old roulette wheel in there. It's got the cards, little lava pit, spinning blades. Neato. And then this looks like, oh, it is Halloween Town, straight up. It's got the little fountain in the middle. It's decorated for Christmas. So it's the same square, but it's got lights and candy canes and all that other stuff that we love so much. And the toys they made, because they are making Christmas. Sweet. So that's where you're going to go and play. Let's see. Oh, and let's see, 4. To anybody else that might be lurking around, welcome and cheers. We're just kind of going through some bits and bobs here, and so that we can do reviews later. So cheers to you, mateys. All right, this I have not opened yet. Still have stands and stuff. Okay, well, unfamiliar with the Funko way, or else I would recognize what the function of these things are immediately. However, we're going to draw some assumptions. Halloween Town and Oogie Boogie's Lair. So these are conditions. So let's say, for instance, we've got the Halloween Town one here. Leaders. So it kind of gives you a little piece of flavor text, it looks like. And then you've got your setup, including a scenario. Gaining points, winning. So this is the conditions of that particular, can I use the word campaign? I guess they said scenario, so we'll go with scenario. Meanwhile, in Oogie Boogie's Lair, same thing. You've got kind of the setup to the story, setup to the game, rules, gaining points, winning, etc. So I assume even the Golden Girls work like this. Because in case you missed it earlier, there's a lot of Funkoverse, and they're based on all kinds of things all over the place. From superheroes to the old Golden Girls TV show, Back to the Future, and Harry Potter, and all kinds of just crazy, crazy stuff. Okay, this is another one of these. So like, for instance, here's a second Halloween Town. It says Territory. Oh, it's just what it's called. It's called Territory. All right, so this is going to give you your flavor. For instance, it says, there's only one day to Christmas, and Jack needs to help packing the rest of the presents. Get to the gifts before your rivals, and show that you are the most excited about making Christmas. It doesn't say to sing that part, and I'm sorry you had to put up with that. However, this is a totally different setup than the other one, which I won't sing to you, but I will assure you that it says something else. All right, so I'm guessing that that means you've got 4 possible scenarios going on here. These things are character cards. We've got a Jack Skellington for this fellow. Sorry, yeah, there we go. We've got a Oogie Boogie for this dude. We've got a Sally for Sally. And, wouldn't you know it, a Dr. Finkelstein for the wheelchair dude. He is pretty cool, though. We were just watching him in Christmas Vacation. He, the actor who plays this voice, plays, I think it's Clark's dad, right? And then the mom is the actress who played Betty Boop. So having Dr. Finkelstein and Betty Boop as the parents is just way too cool. Anyway, that's a little side note. Off you get. He was also in a movie called One Crazy Summer. It was like the offshoot of Better Off Dead. Not the offshoot, but like the not quite sequel, but it had all the same cast and stuff like that. The 80s were weird. Let's see, what do we got here? Shafar! Yeah, River Pirate is somewhere else, but yes, we do say Shafar around here, even though I know what it's short for. Alright. The Grinch musical. I heard terrible things. Are they true? I heard that the Grinch really blew it. Please tell me otherwise, because we will watch it. I'm Fan Newsies video. I mean, just, a quick, did you like it? Did you not? I'd like to know. Never Gonna Nightmare Before Christmas? Totally fine. Totally fine. A lot didn't. Just happens to work for me. Came at a good time in my life, and I was glad to have it. But I definitely don't insist other people are into it. Okay. We also have, let's see, a Zero card. Even though we do not have a mini for him. I guess it's just, out there. Well, these are a little confusing, but we also have, let's see, Black Cat, Mummy, Vampire, and Wolfman. These really directly have to do with this game. It has to do with moving a character. Move up to 2 squares. Oh, maybe they're tokens. Maybe they were in the, let me see. What are you? We got an Igor. Nope. That's not one of them. Oh, I found Zero, though. He was one of the tokens. Ain't he cute? Let's see. What's this? Yeah, I didn't go through all the tokens because there was just a bunch of them in a bag. I am not seeing any straight-up character. Oh, okay. I take it back. This one straight up says Black Cat. And I'm sorry I say straight up so much. Just come into our vernacular recently. So Black Cat, Mummy, which means there's a vampire and a wolfman around here. I don't have to look for those. That works. I mean, these are creatures that did exist in the movie, therefore it makes sense that they're around, even if they're just tokens. I mean, you can't have the little figures for everybody, I guess. That would be too expensive, and then this game would be out of your price range. I assume this is just something that each player needs. Kind of a 1 through 4. And a super cool graphic on the back. And then we got 2 mini cards. I meant 2 mini cards, not too many. Never mind. Let's see. So this is an item, and it's Fog Juice. Here we have a status for Jack Skellington, and it is Pumpkin King. And it says, when this character does an ability, you may discard this status card to decrease the cost of that ability by 2. Well, that sounds very much like an in-game effect. Lovely. I'm sure it comes in handy. And there's no Sandy Claus here. So once again, the Christmas word in the title has let us down. What do we got? What do we got? William Hickey. Is that his name? Probably right. Newsies likes The Grinch. Hopefully we will like it too, because there's no way I can't watch it. I am such an incredible Dr. Seuss fan. One of the things I do when I'm not doing this is draw cartoons. And Chuck Jones and Dr. Seuss and Sergio Aragonés and all those people, Bruce Timm were my heroes growing up. Mort Drucker and Mad Magazine people. So Dr. Seuss stuff I am unfortunately obligated to watch. And I love it when it doesn't suck. And that keeps not happening. So yeah, I try to reserve hope. I do know some of the songs from the Grinch musical. We came across the soundtrack a year or two ago, and there's some good tracks on there. I really didn't like the main guy. The guy from the Broadway had this really deep, gravelly voice, and everything he said sounded like this. And it kind of ruined some of the melody of the tracks. You know what I mean? Let's see. Finkelstein to be Oogie Boogie. Yes, that was true. I remember like 20 years ago watching the storyboards, animatics. I guess then they were just calling them storyboards. And yes, Oogie Boogie was supposed to have his suit rip open, and Dr. Finkelstein was in there saying, "You're not good enough to court my daughter." That's ridiculous. But, I mean, it is also ridiculous without that. So would it have really been that much worse? I'm just kind of glad that didn't happen. Especially since I like this guy. He's pretty cool. And he feeds Igor little dog biscuits. I'm sure they're delicious. Green Eggs and Ham. The book? Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, I mean, what's not to like? And it makes me hungry. So, cheers to that. Got to get my munchies going. Green Eggs and Ham is good. Was that the one? No, that wasn't the one. Gosh, now I'm trying to remember my my Dr. Seuss stuff, but there was one where Dr. Seuss was bet by his publisher that he couldn't make a story that used only a certain number of words. I think it might have been 100. And I think it might have been Green Eggs and Ham because it recycled dialogue so much. It was either that or it was the, I can't think of the name of it. There's another one. Tweedle Beetle Battles. Anyway, there's just a lot of cool stories involving Dr. Seuss. And when I was working on the strip, I was outside the Caesar's Palace Casino doing caricatures several years ago. And whenever I'd take my breaks, I'd go inside, and there was this art gallery, and they had all of these cool interpretations of Dr. Seuss artwork. So I just sort of grab whatever I was going to eat that day and just kind of stand there and stare at these things and analyze all the lines. I mean, he just had a way and a sway about him. They say that, when it comes to art, you don't draw what a thing is, you draw what it's doing. And with Dr. Seuss, nearly everything was in motion. That's why he and Chuck Jones were a match made in heaven, because Chuck Jones was one of the most dynamic animators of his time. He was at least the standout from the crew that we all knew so well. There was a lot of brilliant people back then, but I always loved what he did. And he rarely let me down until the late 70s, early 80s came along, but that's not what we're talking about, is it? Or is it? Anyway. Hop on Pop, good. Yeah, we did, when the kids were really young, we did we ordered the books and stuff like that. And so we got these subscriptions. They would come in, and they came with a little Dr. Seuss backpack, so the kids could just kind of carry them around with them and all like that. And Tim Burton loved it too. I mean, the rhyming structure that Dr. Seuss brought us is very difficult to do. I read a book a decade or two ago when I was trying to look into what was involved with being involved with kids' books. And it was called, it's a Bunny Eat Bunny World. And the author was saying that within the industry, the publishers no longer even trusted themselves to approve rhyming stories. Because they're like, I just don't know. And so many of them has failed. Everybody wants to be Dr. Seuss, but nobody is. And they can't seem to pull it off. So it's like this horrible writing trap where you start trying to make things rhyme, and no offense to you or me, but we suck at it. Dr. Seuss knew what the heck he was doing. And I think Tim Burton was clearly informed by people like that. I mean, he loved the Rankin Bass, and he loved all that kind of traditional type of storytelling that was pitched to kids, but had like creepy undertones. And I feel like in the 90s, that's really what made him glow, was the fact that he got that, and the fact that he bottled it and distilled it, and he sold something back to us that, helped us to see what was already going on. I mean, Rudolph is a pretty messed up cartoon. It really is. But anyway, again, off topic. But the stories that Tim Burton told in the beginning had this kind of originality and stuff. Beetlejuice, got to be one of my greatest all-time stories. Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm not sure how original it is, but it was certainly, unique in its presentation and an homage to the things that came before. And I love it for that. And of course, I just dig the music. I had the CD memorized as I drove around in my truck before I even went to the movie. And then when we went to the movie, half the audience got up and walked out. I went with my mom. She loved it. She was very morbid. She loved, creepy, gross stuff. But the other people that I watched it with in Texas, they weren't into it. And that happens, and that's okay. But Tim Burton was kind of informed of things like that, and I think that's kind of what I dug about him. Holiday specials usually tapped into the who's who of the, not the who's who, but the what's what. Now I sound like Dr. Seuss. But the what's what of what appeals to children. Rhyming and really distinct, oddball kind of characters that are outcasts and things like that. So he was one of us. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Let's see. Rankin Bass. Yes. We've been crawling our way through South Park. Almost done. I just feel obligated, especially since I took the ride back in '98. And they are what they are, but yeah, they totally caught me off guard with their parody of The Greatest Adventure from The Hobbit. My oldest son has become fascinated with ocarinas, and he grew up in a household that was just all about all things Tolkien. So, of course, he started getting all these songbooks about all the Rankin Bass things and all like that, and he, the stuff from the Howard Shore themes from the newer movies. Even if the movies weren't great, the music usually was. And so that's kind of come back to life for us. And it's gotten me reacquainted with some of that Rankin Bass stuff, because that's the two things that we're basically known for. Holiday specials, yes, Halloween included, and that weird Rudolph's Shiny New Year thing. And then Tolkien stuff. And they were good at it. I mean, those were beautiful cartoons, even if some of the bits were kind of annoying. And I always got a chuckle at where there's a whip, there's a way. So, yeah. Indeed, absolutely. All right, well, I think we have opened this box and we've itemized the contents and we've talked at great lengths about Tim Burton and kids' special influences and all things like that. So I guess it's time for me to clean this up and move on to the next thing. I'd like to thank y'all for stopping in today for this, say it with me, Pirates Parlay, and I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to move on to the next thing, and I'll see you guys later. But you gotta bear with me a second while I fumble and push buttons. There's one. Let's see what that does. Aye, and smooth sailing to you too, Delaney. Sorry, I'm a little tipsy.